Welcome to the Aim High podcast. Good day, everyone. Do you want to get into real estate but don't know where to start? Do you think your current job gives you no experience? Our guest today is Rob McIntosh. Rob is real estate royalty and a serial entrepreneur. Find out how he started in real estate and how working with others helped him grow in the space. Find out all of that and more today, where we provide real estate investors the tools to achieve generational wealth. Welcome to the Aim High podcast. I'm your host, Bud Evans. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Aim High podcast. This is Bud Evans. I'm joined today with Rob McIntosh. Rob, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Bud. Doing well today down here in sunny Florida today.
It's wonderful to see you, buddy. Listen,
Thank you.
Rob, I know you very well. Just give me a brief introduction.
My name's Rob McIntosh. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I have several different businesses, real estate being the primary one. We have a book publishing business that does specialty automotive books. I'm part owner of a real estate brokerage as well. And then we have several LLCs that we run, mostly rental units and do some fix and flips, but the vast majority now are rental units. So it's a little bit about me. I've been doing this got a late start. I've been doing it for 14 years, but that's a little bit about me.
Rob, you and I run in the same circles and we kind of work together in one of your many ventures, but how did you get into real estate?
It was a combination of a lot of different things. Our one business, which was a family business, I didn't bring up, was an automotive business. We had a small 5,000 square foot commercial building. We grew that with different add-ons or additions, you might say, grew it to 20,000 square feet. And that really, we set this up so that we were leasing it to ourselves, okay? So we could pull the income out of that. And then in essence, basically, that was really my introduction. And then actually my son, back, this would be like 2008, said, Dad, I went to this seminar thing, okay, and et cetera. And in essence, I think this would be great for you, et cetera. We could do, let's just get one rental. We'll get a duplex. I'll live in the one side. We'll get a tenant in the other. They'll pay 3/4, if not almost a home mortgage, et cetera. And that's how we got started in this with this one simple duplex.
Let's talk about what was your first real deal. I hear you had a real great experience in the beginning.
We've had a lot of good deals. We've had a few bad deals. The one I think you're referring to is one that basically we bought it off another investor who thought he had a great deal, didn't do any rehab. He just got the estimates, and the estimates were twice what he expected. So he wanted to bail, and I admit, I think the estimates were high. So we tore into this house. It's in a number one school district. It's a 4-bedroom house. So odds are you're going to have kids. So that's a plus. Decent sized yard, pretty decent location. As I said, a great school district, a decent sized yard. I mean, there was everything going for it. Okay. And good solid comps in that area. So everything was fine, but making a long story short, if it could go wrong, it went wrong. Okay. In the sense of we hired a contractor, all talk, no walk, ended up firing him. It is what it is. All right. But the weird part was I used this contractor for 3 other rehab projects and never had a problem. Like he fell off the wagon, for lack of a better way of putting it. So we fired him, got a replacement. Couldn't work with other people. It was this guy's problem. The second contractor, he was doing a lot of the work, but he did not do roof work. Yeah, there's no proof of this, but the guys are up working on the roof, and I admit they were licensed, but they were lazy. They didn't put any of their harnesses on that day. It's a pretty flat roof. I mean, there was a pitch, but not a lot. The regular contractor, the GC downstairs, said, hey guys, you want some coffee? I'll go to we call it Tim Hortons coffee shop, get you some coffee. It seems like it took a long time. And then suddenly OSHA shows up and gets everybody off the roof, fines, no harnesses, blah, blah, blah. And then he happens to show back up an hour later after getting coffee. And of course, everyone figures this son of a pup called OSHA and reported this in, because this is on a side street. It's not like you'd be driving by and see it from the road and whatever. And then it We had a building inspector that was, this politically correct terminology, very challenging. We failed our final inspection, not the rough inspections, the final inspections 6 times.
Oh, goodness.
Every time he came back, he found something additional. Finally got that all settled up. And then the house was on septic. This was my first learning experience with septic. Septic was the original to the house. We called the health department, because septic is usually in most communities not controlled by the building department, it's the health department.
Yeah.
So they came out, they tested the whole thing, it passed. Miracles. Okay. Public water, but septic on the waistline. So we were surprised. Put the house under contract, got it sold, took a little bit to get it sold. The buyer was a bit of a jerk. There's a little small patch of 1 inch, 3 inch, 1 by 3, 1 by 6 of what was suspected to be mold in the attic. Oh my God, we're all going to die. Okay. It's the end of the world, etc. So we had to get that remediated to his satisfaction, which is simple to do. But making a long story short, we get all the way to closing, and now it's winter time. So they can't test the septic in the winter. So we had to put $10,000 in escrow till the spring. Spring comes, health department tests it, it passed. Okay, release my 10. No, we're not releasing it. We still feel that you knew the system was going to fail. It's imminent that it's going to fail. And we want a whole new septic system put in by you, or we're not releasing the $10,000. Now, of course, who gets involved? The money people, the lawyers. Okay, we're back and forth and back and forth. We threaten to sue them. They threaten to countersue. It turned messy. So making a long story short, we compromised. I said, we'll take 8. You keep 2, use it towards the future for a septic if it does fail in the future. It passed, but it failed. It was missing a cap, 3 or 4 inch PVC cap where the comes out of the ground. The inspector wanted a cap on it. Don't ask me why he vented cap. No big deal. Go to Home Depot, get a 4 inch vented cap, go over to the property, put it on top with my rubber mallet. I'm tapping it down. Lights are flashing and the rest. And 2 cops come walking over. You're trespassing, sir. What are you doing here? I said, I used to be the owner. We just did the septic inspection and it failed because it doesn't have a vented cap. I'm putting the cap on as per the owner's request so that we can get our money out of escrow. You're trespassing, sir. Come with us. They're going to arrest me for trespassing to put a freaking cap on. He must have been watching from inside the house.
Yeah.
Etc. Just crazy. They took me up to their car and this guy must be a little wacky. He goes, just let me make it look like I'm doing some paperwork here. Shut up, go away. And we all drive away. But it was like crazy. And that was my first really crazy experience.
But it all turned out okay.
It all turned out okay in the end. Yeah. But
let's go through some numbers on that one because I got to hear it. So what was the after repair value on the property?
The after repair value on that was a wild one. So I'm going to be a little fuzzy here. The after repair value was basically about $450,000 for a 4-bedroom house.
Okay.
It was just under 3,000 square feet with about a 3/4 basement. So it's a pretty good size house, 2-car, about an acre of property. So that was at the purchase price was $150, $149 and some change. The rehab went over budget. I don't remember, but after we added it up, paid the realtor fee, which obviously I'm like, we didn't sell for $499. I think we got $410 or something, but still 400,000 at, let's say 5-6%. I didn't own the real estate brokerage at that point. And that's still 20-30,000 out the door on realtor fees. I get it, etc. Right. But yeah, we ended up losing about 10,000, 12,000 on that one, a learning experience. And again, the holding costs on the septic, there was $10,000 sitting there, etc. The hard money lender was really pretty good to work with. Okay. Yeah. But again, it just, you don't ever want to have a loss, but it was time that killed me more so than anything else on that one.
Yeah.
The time value of money when you're borrowing.
Yeah. And that's the thing, speed is
Well,
definitely something you got to look
yeah,
forward
and
to.
the other thing in New York State, which most states probably don't have this, is the taxes are brutal. Taxes were almost a $10,000 on that house. That's $1,000 a month just in taxes at holding time, plus the hard money lender and all the rest. We originally projected about a $50,000 profit, and it
Okay.
turned into about a $12,000 loss. Not a good day when you come home and tell the wife, "Oh, guess what, honey? We lost 12,000 today. We're going to McDonald's for the dollar menu tonight."
Oh man. So how did you get out of it? What are you doing now?
What am I doing now? I continue to do real estate, obviously. I do some coaching with one of the national coaching programs that is out. But basically, in essence, I still do. We're concentrating more so. We've pretty much gotten out of the flips for right now, or fix and
Mhm.
flips. Most people know the market in real estate is crazy prices. Okay, right now, or has been, although it has tapered and changed here in the last, I'd say, 6 to 8 months, or since December of a year ago. But we're doing BRRRR, basically, which is rental properties, buy, renovate, et cetera, and then we're holding them. Right now, we have 32 doors in 8 buildings. We're not quite up to you, but you're still way ahead of us on that. They throw off a pretty good income. So very often what we're doing is buying properties that are, you could use the word need to be stabilized is one
Mhm.
way of putting it. Another way to put it is needs a fair amount of work. We buy some that are from tired landlords. Actually, our biggest source of these properties is property management, where you have a landlord that is, I don't know, probably has driven it into the ground or hasn't maintained the maintenance on it and just is looking to get out of it.
Yeah.
Probably has owned it for many years, so he has a lot of equity in it. And he just wants to reposition his cash however he wants to. Maybe he's putting it in the crypto market. That's I'm picking on crypto. Okay. But in essence, we come in, we use private money to take it down or to purchase it, get it all renovated, then basically go and get a 30-year mortgage on it and refinance it out that way. In obviously the cash flow typically in our market, most of my rentals are in the Buffalo, New York market, which is a lower price point market, but
Yeah.
it is affordable. It's typically, actually, I think the last thing I saw was one of the 5th in the top 5 most affordable markets in the United States.
Okay.
Or like our 2-bedroom units, we typically get $800 a month for our 2 bedrooms. We concentrate mostly, I should have mentioned, on what I call average blue collar housing. Okay, we're not in the class A luxury market. I'm not a slumlord, although I know a person who I find properties. Occasionally, we wholesale one to him for $10,000, and he put a tenant in there.
Ooh.
I don't know how a person lives like that, but hey, they do. But in essence, in 800 for the 2 bedrooms, our 3 bedrooms are anywhere from at least 1,000 to 1,200. And we have a few single bedrooms, not very many. I think there's 3 that are single bedrooms. Those we're typically getting 650 to 700 on. So they cash flow pretty decent. Okay. And we, of
Right.
course, we have property management in place to handle all these. I originally did the property management myself till we were up to about 10 units. And then you're trading time for money. And I just
Yeah.
simply said enough and hired a company that we still use today. Really, we're happy with them. We're paying 8% on property management, which is a little under the probably going range is probably 8 to 10, with 10 being a pretty typical number. So
Yeah.
that's what keeps me out of mischief this time.
And you'd say that your niche has changed from the flipping market directly to the BRRRR and the
Yeah.
buy and hold
The
market.
buy, hold, rental market. Basically doing that because of my age bracket. As you can tell, I'm 25 years old times 2 plus a little more. Okay. I have officially filed for my Medicare card. Okay. That means I have to be coming up on 65. So I'm
Yes.
looking to build that passive income is really
Yeah.
what I'm looking to do, et cetera. And just get that stable income so that I don't have to live off just my Social Security payment.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I've been working on presently. Current projects, I know you're going to be asking that. The current projects right now, we have a couple that we're working on. You're always working on a project in the rental world because tenants leave. Usually you got to do some paint, drywall repair, possibly carpet or flooring. Most of the flooring, we're ripping out carpets, putting LVL in most cases,
Yep.
simply because it lasts longer, it takes more abuse, generally speaking, than that. But update it, try to improve it a little bit, okay, but not go spend a fortune on it. And just keep doing that, repeat, so to speak, and just keep building that rental portfolio over time.
Awesome. So let's jump right ahead. And what's one thing that you learned as your wealth increased?
Biggest thing learned is as your wealth increases is I've always heard this. You can't, well, many people have heard this. You can't save your way to financial freedom. You need something else coming in. So basically, we're using this. I think is probably the biggest learning experience I had is because I had been your typical go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a job, work at a company for X number of years, although I worked at our own company, family company for many years, for actually 28 years. Okay. I made a good living, don't get me wrong, but at some point, do you want to just go to work every day and do that? Or it's something that I can sit on the beach. I'm a beach type person. I like the warmer climates. I know that seems strange being from Buffalo. And basically just sit back and collect that passive income. That was my goal. And then, of course, obviously in the long term, I have two children. They're both grown. They're in their 30s. Basically, at some point, transfer that to them. Okay. And generate wealth that way. Plus, in real estate, tons of ways to take advantage of tax codes out there. Okay. Section 179, accelerated depreciation expenses. There's a lot of ways that you can work that to your definite advantage. We have a really good accountant that I guess I'll say she likes us, we like her, and she point blank, how aggressive do you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a point of too aggressive, and there's a point of being ultra conservative too. We're somewhere in the middle there. And she has a lot of recommendations. And if anybody is in real estate, we meet with her typically 3 times a year to see where we are so we don't have a surprise come this time of year, come your December or whatever calendar year you're in.
Good day, high flyers. Do you need help with your business? We can help you get out of a jam or even get you started in real estate. Check us out at budevans.com. Being good at sales isn't a natural talent. There is no it factor. Sales is identifying what the prospect needs, then providing the solutions to their problem. This is the process. Check out disruptors.com/aimhigh, where sales disruptors are looking to make 100 millionaires. Thanks. Now back to the show. You are a font of information, Robin. I'm going to tap into that right now.
Okay.
These are 4 questions that can help someone starting out to achieve new heights. It's an Air Force thing.
Yep.
So what is one thing that you use to keep you motivated?
Really, I'm a self-motivating person. Okay. I'm not the type that's just going to sit back and quote, retire, collect my Social Security and do nothing. I have to have something to do. Okay. Yeah, I'm just a busybody. Okay. So just really building, I know it sounds crazy, building that wealth to pass it on to my kids or future generations, as well as sharing some of my knowledge with students and other real estate investors out there. Don't hoard it all to yourself and not share anything. Some people do that, but why not share it? Help other people move their lives. That's what keeps me motivated.
Sharing the wealth and knowledge. What is one thing that changed your mindset? I know when you started, you were already an entrepreneur, but
yeah,
one thing that completely changed your mind.
Really taking control. The business, the family business I was in was not I don't consider a small business. Okay. I was the president of that business. We had 150 employees. Okay. That's a lot of families, obviously, that are indirectly looking to you for their paycheck.
Yeah.
And really just wanted to just move it forward for myself as well as for them. We're one of the few companies that tried to, with that business, we had a 401k for people. Okay. And we employed a lot of younger people. And when I get it, when you're young, you're 20, 25, 30, you're worried about today, Social Security in the future is so far away that I don't even worry about it. But like our 401k, we gave people 100% match, 100% on whatever they
Wow.
put in. That is unheard of in most 401k plans.
It is.
I'm shocked at the number of people that contribute zero. Even if you put $1,000 in, you got $1,000 from us.
Free money.
Yeah, and they would walk away from that because they need money for their friends, their beer, their whatever that week. That was always a surprise to me. We tried to educate a lot of them. We offered them free financial through a licensed financial advisor. Okay. Hey, you can sit down with this guy, talk over your plans, come up with a plan for your future. I'd say 70% of them never took advantage of it. It's maybe that lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink type
Yeah.
scenario.
That'll do it. Watching
Yep.
other people squander the opportunity to save will definitely shift the mindset.
Yeah, true.
What tools? I know your son is big into CRMs. What tools do you use to keep yourself on track?
For the rentals, obviously, we're using my property management company software, which I'm not plugging them at all as a company, as a software called Buildium. I really do really probably, I'd say, based on ones I've seen, probably in the top 3 or 4 programs out there for property management. I'm old school, man. I'm old school. I use Excel spreadsheets. Okay. Microsoft Word, nothing fancy. Now, my son, on the other hand, he's got all the fancy stuff, so to speak, the CRMs and Slack and all these various softwares out there, Script, I think it is, it transfers notes. And that's great, but I guess I'm showing my age there. In essence, basically, I just am old school, not necessarily paper, but in essence, just Excel spreadsheets and Microsoft Word.
Here's the big one. If you had to start all over again, what would be the one thing you would change?
It really boils down to, I know this sounds crazy, starting earlier, okay? Because I know that you probably have a lot of people say that same thing. As I said, I grew up in that mindset of the go to school, so on and so forth. I also grew up in a GM town. General Motors was the big employer with over 6,000 employees. You know, it was typically, if you're in a GM, even if you're sweeping the floor, making, this would be back in the late 60s, early 70s, you're making $25 an hour sweeping the floor. You get a full old-fashioned pension, 100% paid healthcare. You were in there, you're set for life. Nothing to do but just crank out that 25 years and check out with the pension, your Social Security, and the rest. And those days are obviously gone in 98% of the world today. All right. So really starting earlier. Okay. There's a lot more items out there, especially for not just real estate investors, but using whole life insurance policies to fund deals, etc. They can be specially crafted. Money Multiplier is one of the companies out there. There's numerous companies that do this, but that's a huge way of, again, just open to different ideas, okay, in networking, getting out there. I used to think, well, holy shit, I've got these businesses. I know what the frick is going on. There's so much knowledge out there that you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a classic, be a sponge. Okay. Suck up as much information as you can and implement what works for you. Don't implement what, isn't in your niche. And the other big thing is getting up in the morning and enjoying what you're doing. There's nothing worse than getting up in the morning and saying, oh God, I got to go to work with that son of a pup boss. I hate his guts. And I've only got, 1,263 days and 18 hours to go till I retire. Okay. They actually have retirement countdown calculators you can put on your computer screen. Okay.
I had one. My last 3 years in the military, I was doing that.
Yep. In fact, I have a friend of mine who is former military, retired, I'd say 4 or 5 years ago, went to work at the post office. He's counting down. He's down to, I think at this point, it's roughly sometime during the summer. He's done. He's got his postal pension. He's got his military pension, whatever that is, and the rest. And I see him at the post office occasionally. And it's just, hey, Rob, 988 days to go. That's the first thing out of his mouth. Okay. He hates going to work. Okay. And that's a shame. It really is, in a way.
It is.
I'd rather be in charge of my own life and make my own decisions than be necessarily under somebody else's rule and I've seen it too, where especially like at GM and other businesses, okay? And then I'll stop on this question where you go into work, everything is fine and dandy, and next thing you know, hey, come to HR or come to this office, that, and boom, they're gone. Or, hey, everyone, guess what? We got bought out yesterday by this XYZ company, and there's going to be some repositioning, et cetera, just letting you know. And next thing you know, within a month or two, you're gone. Okay. Yep. I've even went through that myself here recently with one educational company I'm with, but that was due to the pandemic. They had to pivot, okay, as a classic term, during the pandemic, and they let a whole bunch of people go to the tune of, it was close to 200 people that got let go in 10 days. That's a lot of people to let go. Okay? It is what it is. Did I get up in the morning and say, oh my God, how am I going to make my mortgage payment? How am I going to feed this week? How am I going to do anything? No, not really. The world goes on, just pivot a little bit myself, look for some more. I got more time now to find properties.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a different mindset shift.
It is. Yeah. Hey, Rob, listen, it has been a pleasure talking to you.
Sure.
So for those who are listening right now or watching on YouTube, listen to Rob McIntosh. Start now, start today. If you need coaching, we both work for a high quality organization, or you can reach out to me at buddevans.com. Guys, Rob, as always, it is a pleasure talking to you. You are a font of information, a true scholar and a gentleman, and I really do enjoy your company.
No problem. I appreciate being on today, Bud, and look forward to seeing you at one of our real estate events someplace here during the year 2023.
Yes, sir. Until next time we meet, aim high.
Take care, everyone.
Hey, just a reminder, if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want some more real estate and finance related videos, you can check out our other videos right here. And as always, aim high.